The last thing I remember was walking outside of the cool room to the bottling line. A massive concussion wave had just rocked the inside of it. The packaging crew looked at me gobsmacked. I asked where the cellarman was. They said he was in the cool room with me. Not 10 seconds before, he was standing next to me. Now, he was nowhere to be seen. Soaked in freezing beer and looking at the cool room panel, I realised a 1,200 litre Brite beer tank had just exploded right in front of me and the cellarman. The blast of the explosion blew him through the cold room wall and outside the building. And in that moment, my life and my career as a brewer changed forever. In this episode of Quality Focus Pro Brewers, I'm breaking down one of the worst days of my brewing career, why things went so horribly wrong, and how you can prevent this sort of thing happening at your brewery so that you and your team can go home safe to their families every single day. So if you care about people more than you care about beer, this episode is for you. Let's get brewing. G'day brewers, my name is Hendo and I am a pro brewer coach from the Rockstar Brewer Academy. I help professional brewers all over the world implement the quality systems they need to brew amazing world-class beer. It was my first job as a professional brewer and my 9th day on the job. My 9th day. I still had that feeling like I'd won the lottery. For years, I was just a passionate home brewer, a weekend guy obsessed with yeast and hops. I'd recently gone through a divorce and I'd focused on finishing my postgrad degree in brewing. To finally get back on my feet and to be paid to live the dream as a professional brewer felt like something really awesome, and I felt like I was getting my life back on track. The brewery became my second home very quickly. I loved the way it smelled in the morning, that mix of sweet grain, damp concrete, and the sharp bite of PAA sanitizer. It's the smell of creation, turning simple stuff into something that people celebrate with. I was working with a cellarman who was exactly the kind of brewer you want to learn from. Quiet, methodical, and he had a deep respect for the craft. He'd been in the brewing game for years, and he moved through the brewery with a calm efficiency that I was desperately trying to copy. We were a good team. He had the experience, and I had the boundless naive energy of a rookie. That morning started like any other. The air was cool, the stainless steel tanks stood around us like silent silver giants, and the whole place had that familiar hum of pumps and machinery. It's the brewery's heartbeat. My job for the day was to carbonate a batch of beer in a 12 hectolitre Brite tank. That's 1,200 litres, about 10 barrels, or about 2,000 pints of beer. Big volume, but totally standard for a brewery our size. The Brite tank is where the beer gets its final fizz before going into kegs or cans. It's where you introduce CO2 under pressure, let it dissolve, and turn flat beer into the crisp, finished product that everybody loves. This is a process that happens every single day in thousands of breweries all over the world. It's routine. It's normal. And that's what makes what happened next so terrifying. The danger wasn't hiding in some new, complicated procedure. It was hiding in plain sight, a task that we did all the time. I looked at that tank and merely saw a vessel. But the thing is, I'd worked with big tanks before at my brother's vinegar factory. But vinegar isn't a carbonated beverage, so I'd never worked with pressure vessels before. I didn't see it as a pressure vessel. But what it really was a potential bomb. Hey, if we've just met and you don't have it already, why not grab my 5-step Pro Brewer quality checklist? It's a quick, practical download with a full section of systems you need to make awesome beer in your brewery. Head to rockstarbrewer.com/checklist or comment checklist below. A number of things went wrong that day that I won't go into detail about, but this workplace accident, like all workplace accidents, is not a single thing that goes wrong to cause the accidents. It's a series of small little issues that lead up to the major catastrophe. Think of it like an episode of Air Crash Investigation. That's an hour-long show. The show doesn't simply end in 5 minutes with the plane crashing into the ground. The episode details all of the small issues that lead up to the major catastrophe. Workplace accidents are the same. It's called the Swiss cheese theory. All of the holes of the cheese have to line up. Lots of small issues lining up, leading to cause one big issue. When a major industrial accident occurs, there's damaged equipment and there's a financial cost, but that's not the important part. It's only when we consider the human cost. But why don't we do that before the accident? Breweries are full of workers who are fathers, mothers, partners, and friends who deserve to go home safely every night. Safety systems aren't red tape to get in your way. They're the promise that we make to each other to protect people, not just the equipment. My turning point came quickly after the accident when I realised that safety always beats quality. Here's the thing. Most brewers obsess over their hops, their yeast, and their clarity. But if you ignore safety, none of that matters. Production halts, contamination, oxidized beer, nobody gets hurt. Tank rupture, forklift rollover, body parts being caught in a grist auger, I've seen them all, and it's real lives at risk. Over the years, I dove into occupational health and safety with the same passion that I have with brewing. I studied process safety, risk assessment, and everything, and I now teach it to students at the local technical college. And I learned that real safety isn't about checklists or posters on the wall, and it's not about buying more safety glasses or other PPE. Solving safety and reducing risk in your brewery is a well-worn path, and you need a system, an algorithm. Some breweries approach safety with random moves. Someone hurts their foot, so they buy steel-toed boots. Someone gets a burn, so they put up a hot surface sign. That's reactive. That's waiting for someone to get hurt before you act. The system I teach at the Rockstar Brewer Academy is proactive. It's built on 5 core principles. The first principle is that everybody in the brewery owns safety. It's not just the head brewer's job, it's everybody's job. The person cleaning the tanks, the person pouring the beer, the contractor fixing a pipe. Every single person has to be an active part of keeping your brewery safe. The second is find the hazards. It's the most important step, and it's the one that most people skip. Before you can fix a problem, you have to see it. You have to walk through every single process you perform in your brewery and ask, what could go wrong here? What could hurt someone? We never did this with carbonation. We saw the tank, but we didn't see the real hazard. We didn't see the bomb. You have to list everything. Chemicals, CO2 leaks, wet floors, ladders, hoses on the floor, fatigue. Don't try to solve the problems just yet. Just find them and identify them. The third thing you need to do is prioritize the hazards. A paper cut is not the same as a tank explosion. You have to rank your hazards so you can focus on the deadliest ones first. We use a simple risk matrix. How likely is the hazard to happen? And if the hazard does happen, how bad will it be? A tank explosion might be unlikely, but the consequences to people is catastrophic. That makes it a critical risk that you have to deal with right now. The fourth thing you need to do is control the hazards with a system. Once you've identified the hazards, you've got to get stuck in with the real work. You have to do it right, and you have to do it in the right order, using what's called the hierarchy of controls. Think of it as a pyramid of solutions from best to worst. At the very top of the pyramid is elimination. Can you just get rid of the hazard completely? The next one is substitution. Can you swap that job out for something less risky? The third one is isolation. Can you put a barrier between people and the hazard? After that, you've got engineering controls. These are physical changes to the workplace. For some places, it might be things like lockout controls on doors on your packaging line. For the tank that I was involved with, a proper engineering control could have been a second pressure relief valve or a spunding valve. Below that are administrative controls. This is the stuff that we think of when it comes to safety. Training, signs, standard operating procedures, your wall of wisdom and your approved chemicals list. They're important, but they rely on people not making mistakes, and people always make mistakes. And at the very bottom of the hierarchy of controls, it's the last weakest line of defense, and that's PPE, or personal protective equipment. Goggles, gloves, boots, and so on. PPE doesn't stop the accident, it just tries to make the injury less severe when it happens. That day, we were wearing PPE, but that does nothing against an exploding Brite beer tank. When you rely on the weakest control point as your first line of defense, you're going to pay the price for it. And the fifth principle is make sure in your brewery that when you're talking about safety, that you involve your team, be collaborative, and never ever stop reviewing. A safety program isn't a binder that just sits on a shelf once it's written and just sits there gathering dust. It's a living thing. You have to involve your crew. Make sure that you have weekly safety meetings in your brewery. Make finding hazards part of everyone's job. Reward people for pointing out safety hazards in your brewery, and review everything all of the time because things change. New equipment, new processes, You go right back to principle 2 and you start all over again. For years now, I've worked with breweries to implement this system and the change is huge. But here's the secret that so many brewery owners miss. A great safety program doesn't just stop accidents, it builds a better brewery and it builds a better business. When you create a culture where every single employee is actively looking for safety risks, they don't just find safety problems, they find quality control issues as well. They find ways to become more efficient. They cut down on waste and they cut down on costs. These are the things that naturally happen when you start having conversations about safety in a brewery. Think about it. A system that stops a chemical spill also stops the wrong chemical getting into your beer. A system that makes sure that equipment is maintained to prevent failure also makes sure that equipment is running its best at all times to make some amazing consistent beer without any downtime. Safety and quality aren't two different things. They're completely linked. You cannot have world-class quality without a rock-solid foundation of safety. It protects your people, and by doing that, it protects your brand, your reputation, and your future. To put it short, you can't have a culture of quality in a brewery without a culture of safety. If you want to see the full system behind beer quality and safe brewing, why don't you check out my free Brewery Quality Systems crash course. It's helped brewers all over the world ditch the guesswork and get their brewery dialed in. Head to rockstarbrewer.com/crash course or comment crash course below and I'll send you the link. That explosion took something from me that day. It left scars inside and out. It almost killed my colleague. But it also gave me something else. It gave me a mission to share this story with you, not for sympathy, but to help you to make a change. I don't want you to learn this lesson the hard way, and I don't want another family to get that phone call. If you work in a brewery, a factory, a workshop, anywhere with risks, I'm asking you, and I implore you, look at your workplace with fresh eyes. Don't just assume that you're safe because you haven't had an accident yet. Ask the hard questions. What's the worst thing that could happen here? And what system, not what person, but what system is in place to stop it? Don't wait for the concussion wave to happen and don't wait for the white light. The power to prevent these things is in your hands. It takes work, it takes humility, and it takes a system. So please share this with your brewing colleagues. Talk about it with your team. Start that conversation. The life you save might be your own. Stay safe, stay consistent, and you'll keep making great beer. Hey, if you like this episode, I reckon you should check out this one next. Thanks for listening to this episode of Quality Focused Pro Brewers, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.